All right, so let's talk business. This is all about how to build your coaching business. I'm going to teach you some principles that you can apply to your coaching practice, and also just how to start thinking like, wow, I actually have a business now. It's not just that I am a coach or I enjoy this, I'm passionate about it. It's that I have a business too, okay? And when you start looking at it in this way, you understand that yes, you love the art and craft of coaching, but you've got to start thinking like, how can I improve my business? How can I scale my business? And that's not to overwhelm you. That's actually a fun and exciting thing to do because it means that you're going to be able to impact more people's lives. So you want to be able to know what it is that you feel you can bring to the table in the best way possible for now. And I say for now because your niche can evolve over time. My niche has evolved about 5 times over, right? Initially, I built a website called addictedtosuccess.com. I built a successful website. A lot of people ask me to come and speak at events and conferences and on interviews to teach people how to build a successful business online. So I started out with marketing and branding, coaching in that space. Then I found that no matter how much I would teach people about their marketing and branding, if they hadn't got the mindset right, then they would hit an upper limit, right? So I started digging into some mindset work myself, and I really started to position myself as a mindset coach, and more so in the motivational mindset bracket. And then as I discovered that it wasn't just mindset, it was actually the emotion. It was what happened in the past. It was what happened in the background. I then started shifting gears. This was probably about 5 years into my coaching journey into more of a coach that works around unconscious patterns. And lately I've been working a lot with people that are struggling with trauma and childhood wounds. I really love diving into the childhood blueprint and seeing what's there. So as you can understand, you're not fixed, right? You're not fixed. You're not a tree, as Jim Rohn says. You can get up and move. And so the same thing goes with your niche, but you have to start with something. What I would suggest is that you don't go way too broad at the start. Nowadays, you can't do too well in the industry unless you've got a lot of skills in this area, unless you've got a big following. And when it comes to calling yourself just a general life coach or a mindset coach, it's very general and very broad, okay? Get ready to jump in and be in a saturation of a lot of other people calling themselves that if that's what you want to do. You're going to have to compete with someone like a Tony Robbins. So I'm sure most people aren't up for that challenge. So you want to be able to niche it down a bit, even if it's like a sub niche. And I have a list of different niches. You'll see with the document that I have underneath this video attached to this, that there are different sub niches underneath the main niches. Okay. But what you want to look for is a few things. You want to identify, what are you good at? So if you were to have a look at, like, let's say there was a circle over here. What are you good at in that circle? What are you skilled at? What are you efficient in? You don't necessarily have to be super advanced in it, but at least have some sort of skill sets in those areas. Okay. For someone that's watching this right now, maybe you have a skill set around naturopathy, naturopathy, as they call it. Maybe it's chiropractic care or massage. Maybe it's health and nutrition, right? So, okay, great. We could work with that. If that's something that you truly feel excites you and you want to keep learning more, you got to think about the future. Like, oh, would I love to be still improving myself in this area and expanding my skill sets for the next 10, 20, 30 years, right? So that's one thing. What are you good at? The next one is, what do you love? Okay, what are you passionate about? What do you value most? All right, our values is where our alignment and our power is. So you need to choose something that you're good at, something that you love. Okay, maybe it's books that you read, maybe it's history in your web browser. Maybe it's the type of YouTube videos you watch or podcasts you listen to. That'll give you a good sign of what you are passionate about. Okay, so you want to blend the two together: what you're good at and what you're passionate about, what you love. And then the third one is, what solution will you bring to the world? So what is it that you'd love to contribute or share? So if let's say, for example, use the health and nutrition person as an example. Let's say they have some skill sets around naturopathy, some skill sets around herbal medicine, some skill sets around like body work, working with like massaging or some sort of adjustment care. Then what they love is they love to be able to work with, let's say, the nervous system. Maybe they love supporting people that have stress. And then the solution they want to bring to the world is to heal more people from their stress, to bring people more back to their center. Okay. So maybe they are, if they were to narrow it down to a niche, they are a stress and anxiety coach, right? And that way, it means they can integrate all the things that they're good at, what they love, and what solution they'll bring to the world. Okay, so let's say that's an example. And you might want to have a look at some of the sub niches under all the different niches in coaching that I have on the document here, and have a think about like which area would you like to play in. Okay, find the bigger umbrella, the main niche, and then find a sub niche. Go do your research. Go look up people that are coaching in this niche and see, is this something that I could see myself doing and be excited about? And could I consistently show up for this? Is this something that I really would like to maybe even one day speak on stage about? Or maybe if I was offered to write a book under a book deal, could I see myself writing a book about this? That would usually be a good sign for you to step into that niche. Okay. You also want to identify your target audience. That would be step 2. After you found out what you're good at, what you love, and what solution you bring to the world, what lies in the intersect there is that purpose within your coaching. But then you want to understand like who's your audience? What type of people are they? What do they believe? What do they value? What age group are they in? What gender are they? Male or female? Right? What profession? What location are they in? Are they in a third world country? Are they in the Western world? Is it just Australia or just America, or is it all of the Western world? Where is it? Right? So that's number 2. Number 3 is you want to determine your possible USP. Now, USP is a unique selling point, okay? And this is really just something that you specialize in. Now, you may not have skill sets in something that's super specialized. That's okay. You could do your research and see what else can I add to the mix that would give me just that edge and make me a little bit different. You don't have to be extremely different, but something in that niche area that would just stand you apart just that much more, right? In Influential Coach, which is the next program after Confident Coach, if you were to continue on this journey, you can learn. I teach 23 of my top skills that I've been using in my coaching, my tools, my frameworks, my exercises that I take all of my top clients through. That gives them the best results. So if you want to expand on the skill set and then use that to give you an edge and make you a much better coach, then you can always jump into Influential Coach after this. You want to also research the marketplace. Have a look and see what are people struggling with in this space. Have a look and join maybe some forums or look at some comments on posts that people are posting in that niche area and see what people are saying they're struggling with. Do a bit of research first. Then you want to test the waters, right? You might want to put out like a mini program or like a mini video series or like a PDF guide where you break down steps as a solution for a problem that's in your niche area, and then offer that for free online and see, are people responding to this? If not, then maybe you're either targeting the wrong audience, or maybe your message isn't clear, or maybe the niche, there isn't as much of a demand. So it's good to be able to test these things. I truly feel within my heart like it is good to test and see. And I also don't want people to limit themselves just because they don't have the current audience right now. You can always build an audience as well. So if you have some money for advertising, you could be able to put some money behind that to get it to reach more people, to test in a different audience base that's more in alignment with your niche, to see if people are really needing this solution that you bring to the table as a coach in that niche area, right? And then the last one is you want to evaluate your results. See, is there anything here that I get to improve on with my niche? Is the messaging clear around this? And messaging is another conversation altogether. We teach a lot of how to craft your message and your offer in Influential Coach. But you want to be able to see, like, do you enjoy working with your clients? If you start working with people in this niche, is this something that you feel you could do for the rest of your career, or at least for the next 5 to 10 years, right? Do you feel like there's some changes that you need to make within yourself? Is there a little bit more improvement in that area to really start positioning yourself as an expert? All these things are super important. And I'm not expecting you to do it all at once, but this is how you dial in more and more in your niche and get familiar with your niche. Just remember that if you have a smaller niche, not like micro nano niche, that becomes difficult if you're capping the amount of people you can reach in that audience, but a small enough niche, you can build your credibility faster in a smaller niche. So that's why it's really important, right? If you don't have a niche, it's kind of like riding around on a bicycle with the back tire bald or flat, and you know at some point it's going to burst, right? If you just keep trying to push generally as a general coach, at some point it's going to become a problem, right? Or maybe even straight away you'll see, oh, I got to get more specific. People are looking for a specific solution in the marketplace now. So the more specific you can be, the better. The easier it becomes to sell, the easier it becomes to message and market, the easier it becomes for somebody to say either yes or no on whether they want to work with you. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for you. Start your research, get clear. What are you good at? What do you love? What solution will you bring to the world? You can work out how to monetize it after as well as you start to learn more as a coach. We teach at an influential coach too, but just really get down to like picking one of those sub niches and start getting into it, immersing yourself in that. That is going to be key for you to start growing in your niche area as an expert and as a coach.